Well, I'm probably not going to make any great friends in the bandsaw blade industry by doing this video, but if you're at all like me, you're probably a little bit frugal, and having a bandsaw blade go dull prematurely for whatever reason, either by use in a really hard to saw wood like teak or rosewood, which I was doing. But what I did, this is the Highland Hardware wood slicer bandsaw blade, and I love this blade for resawing because it does a very thin curve. But when I was using the blade the other day, I hit a piece of metal in the wood that I was using, and because this is not carbide, it just dulled it like immediately. And when I tried to complete the cut, the saw just was sawing a crazy pattern in the wood. So rather than throwing away the blade and getting a new blade in, I thought I'd try something that a good friend of mine says he does on his bandsaw blade. And what Scott does is he says, just sharpen the blade with a carbide burr. And I said, well, what do I do? He says, just get these carbide burrs, and you can buy these from Lee Valley Tools. I'll put a link at the bottom of the screen. These are 5/16 carbide burrs. You get a box of 3 of them for about $7. Chuck it in your Dremel. And I'm using the StewMac Router base on this because it has this nice flat edge, and you'll see why I use that. What I do is I take a Sharpie and mark a starting point on the blade. And then what I do is I just turn on the Dremel. And what you want to do, I'll try not to talk over the Dremel. What you want to do is put the carbide burr in the gullet and then bring the blade down. And what that will do, that'll sharpen the tip of it. And it may seem like it's going to take a while, and it does. First time I did this, I think it took about 20 minutes or so. And this is a 145-inch bandsaw blade. But once you sharpen your blade, if it's dull, not only do you save money, but this thing cuts like nobody's business. Let me show you. This is some granadillo or granadillo that's way too thick for a 3/8 inch bridge. So since I don't want to spend a lot of time with my drum sander getting it down to the final 3/8 inch thickness, I'll just trim a little bit with my bandsaw blade. Watch how this thing cuts after I sharpen it. Granadillo is a very hard wood. It's like ebony. Look at that. It cut that just like a piece of veneer, and it was almost effortless. So, don't throw away a dull Don't throw away a dull bandsaw blade. Just sharpen it with your Dremel and a carbide burr. See you later.